You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, co-chief and prison buddy.
Thanks, Rodney.
Michael the Man Coy himself. How are you, brother?
I'm good.
You get why I'm putting a prison buddy in there.
Yeah, okay. For more reasons than you know.
And we'll explain that here in a second. Woo!
Took the words right out of gizzards.
So this is mine and Mike's 1 hour vacation. We got so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start because we didn't have a show last week. It was the 4th of July. We could have had a show, but I did a fishing trip. I was tired, and I thought Mike was anyway. We didn't have a show. Happy 4th, everybody! Happy birthday, America! If we didn't catch you,
America,
last week. You can reach us a ton of different ways. Right here on your screen, you can give us a call at 262-345-7763. You can also text that number if you have a question or a statement, or you just want to call us a bunch of dummies. We've been known to be called a bunch of dummies a few times.
It happens.
It does happen because sometimes we are a bunch of dummies. Yep. You can also hashtag us at hashtag RROR on the Twitter.
On the Twitter feed.
On the Twitter,
sir.
You can also... My gosh, you can also we're reading it right on Facebook. I mean, we've got people just sitting here just waiting, just watching.
It's kind of nuts.
And we can see it. You can see us on YouTube, Facebook now simultaneously. We can shoot to both spots. You got that one figured out.
Simulcasting.
Kudos to you.
Thanks,
on that
man.
one.
Thanks, man.
Certainly.
Are you done with that?
So yeah, that's.
Did you see that video?
No, excuse me.
The opening video, Hector?
What? You know what? He pulled it off, man.
That was very cool.
That was one of the. That just makes you want to go fishing tomorrow.
That was. You know what? The music he chooses, the way he does it.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody else does it.
No, exactly.
And that's what when he put that one up today or yesterday, whenever it was.
Yeah.
I'm like texting him or Facebook. I'm like, can we use that
on
the show?
That. Yeah, yeah.
Like, that was
cool.
He
absolutely. I mean, just the music makes you want to just.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes you want to fish.
Nice job, Hector.
Good job, Hector. Yeah. I keep going to.
You go where you want to go. You go where you want to go, Rodney.
So, you and that's that. You can reach us 100 different ways. You can ask us questions on every single platform that we could possibly get us on. Mike McGraw says, "What's up, brothers?"
Big MC.
The big MC, Mike to the Man McGraw. Mike, I seen your babies the other day. I just want to give a little shout out to those babies. Man, they are growing fast, dude. And you know what? I'm not the best friend in the world. I'm a crappy friend, so I'm gonna give that to you. You know, we're like that. So give Mom a big hug for me.
Tell him to get ready for a guy's getaway. Though.
Yes, we've already got calls. It's already starting.
This is going like crazy. You ready
Let's
for this?
see. We're about to be called a dum-dum because I don't even know who it is.
John Grinrod.
Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney.
This is Jan.
Is this John?
Jan.
Yes.
Hey, how are you, my man?
All right, brother. So when does snapper season open?
Now, you're talking red snapper.
Red snapper, yes.
Mike, we went over that last week, and it's not on the Atlantic side.
Oh, don't be sorry, dude. We're glad you called.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. So
that's why that number's there.
I'm just trying to draw on my memory because I know
Rodney on the spot.
It's on the Gulf side. You're on the Gulf side, and you're good to catch them now. And it's only in state waters. Now, get on the FWC website, and I'm going to tell you, just click on the snapper because remember, state waters is up to 9 miles out. So
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm trying to draw on my memory of last week because you know what, I got my head clouded with the new regulations for the triggerfish and the cobia and all the stuff they got coming up that we're going to talk about tonight. And so
Yeah, I've got a fishing trip coming up in maybe October later this season.
Okay.
Are they going to be in season?
I think you're good till December. Now, I will double check that, and before this show's out, I will definitely let you know exactly what that season is. I will have that information before the show's out. Okay. It's literally just a click away. I've already got it set up, so all I got to do is click on it. But yeah, so I'll let you know. You're definitely going to be in grouper season. I know it does a.
Are we talking federal or state?
Either one. He's probably going to be fishing federal waters. Do you know how far you're going out, John?
It's probably going to be either in the Gulf or it's going to be Atlantic. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a company thing. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So basically, on the federal regulations, right now it's open June 1st and 3rd, and this is what I'm talking about. They got this screwy date, and then it'll close, and it's like it's open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, June 16th through September 4th. That's going to be your largest gap. So that's okay. And you're going to be good all the way up.
We're probably not going to go out that late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but just remind yourself to look at the FWC website the moment you go out. Your captain is always going to know exactly what you're going after, especially if you're going on a group trip. He is not going to let you fail. But
nice.
That red snapper, man, they've got that season so split up. It's just hard to log into your brain. And that's why I got that.
Absolutely. I know. That's why I asked you.
Hey, do you have the FWC app, John? Do you have that app for the FWC on your phone? Have you ever?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
That is heaven sent for me.
Yeah.
It really, and because it's constantly up to date too.
Yeah. And they literally update it daily.
And things change. So.
Yeah, it does change daily. Yeah, you're right. But I need to update it.
I will tell you who knows exactly when that season is, and that's the officer himself when he approaches the boat.
100%.
100%. He never forgets.
All right, brother.
Hey, thank you so much for calling, John. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, totally.
No problem, man.
Thank you so much. So that's the calls we want, man. Sure. Right there. That's what we're talking. I like when they put me to the test like that.
Do it.
And I like our research department, how quick they're on it. I remember it was like split up, and it was just a crazy. It's hard to log.
I'm telling you,
snapper.
You need a decoder ring that you just spin around and.
We do. We totally do, man. Thank you so much for the call, John.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Bring them on. That's why that number's there, please.
See how easy that was, everybody? He just called. We got his question answered, and snapper season. You know, not to get into the snapper forum thing. But we caught a ton of snapper.
But I also suppose if it's a business venture, you got guys coming in group thing. I mean, you're just gonna go and they're gonna put you on whatever's biting and the best way to go anyway.
The best way to keep it, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly right. I just noticed that I keep putting my hand in front of your face right there. Do it
again.
So yeah. So they're gonna probably put you on grouper and all the cool stuff. That Scamp is always in season. So there's a lot of stuff that's in season that's way better than snapper.
Well, I'll tell you what. Rewind this video and watch the video Hector did at the beginning, and that'll get you pumped. And it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what you're catching. You're gonna want to go.
And I'll tell you, if you go off the East Coast, let me know. Especially if you're doing a group trip. I know some guys on the East Coast, and those guys would fire it up that you just saw right there in the beginning.
Oh, and John, we're gonna show some pictures here in a minute because we're gonna rewind your last couple trips.
Yeah. So we definitely got to rewind, man.
Stay tuned. So let's move forward, and then we'll go back.
There you go. Let's do it.
Tell me about this whole shoe thing. We're going into the shoe business.
Okay, yeah. No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No.
The Rodney Rogers Outdoors Crocs.
You know me. I'm a shoe guy. I love my reef sandals. And I'll tell you. And here's why I love my reef sandals. I normally fish barefooted. My back got to hurting. My kneecaps started hurting. My feet started hurting. So I started wearing my reef sandals all the time. I wouldn't take them off. And I started fishing a lot longer, and I was a lot more comfortable. I was tagged by Todd and Randy today, my nephews, and they tagged me on this new shoe coming out. And
I haven't seen this. I'm excited to see this.
Man, it's when you watch the video of this new shoe, it's got replaceable soles. You could put spikes on it.
Shut up.
For like if you're walking, shut the front door.
Up.
You know what I'm saying? And you could put spikes on it, and you got non-slip shoe. You got the boat shoe, where you can put the boat soles on it. So I messaged the guys that look, dude, I'm going to put these shoes to the test. and they're in a Kickstarter program right now, and I don't know nothing about the shoe other than the video I saw, and it's called Flip Rocks, and they got a sole that you can actually put the little spikes on, like golf spikes, and you go walk on rocks, for the guys who fish the...
so obviously for gals and guys.
Absolutely, for gals and guys. And that strap comes off, so it's just a sandal. And it's got a little bit of lip on the very front for like a toe kick when your toe sticks out just a little bit, and you kick a rock, and you're not pile driving your toe into a rock. So it's a Kickstarter program right now.
I'm intrigued.
And I'm going to get the shoe. They ship in September. So they've got a ton of. I'm going to get the $150 program because I get 3 pairs of shoes, and
so the biggest selling point is what? That it's interchangeable
soles,
depending on what you're doing.
Exactly, depending on what you're doing.
At the beach.
It could be beach. It could be like I said, if you're fishing. If you're wade fishing, you're walking through the rocks. That's more up north. That's not really gonna. I don't really care about the spiky soles.
Yeah,
that's not gonna do any good for me, unless you're hiking. If you're going up and you're hiking, these guys. They tagged me on a post where a guy put their shoe to the test, and he really put them to the test.
The spiky shoes and just like wear them through the grocery store or something.
Yeah, you sound like a golfer, don't you? We could golf with
or
it.
to a wedding. Be perfect wedding sandal.
Perfect wedding. You slip like a so. So for me, because I'm on my 3rd pair of reefs for the year, and I'm on. I broke my leather expensive Okalais, the Hawaiian sandal. That's a real nice, super nice. So I broke them. They're comfortable, but they're broke too. So because I wear sandals.
Well, if you're in the market for outdoor wear, there's a trade show in town that you should go check out.
Guess what?
What?
Just so happens I'm gonna be there. Is this the one you're talking about?
Booyah,
Booyah,
Mr. Rogers.
So we will be at iCast. I'm assuming you're talking about iCast.
I am.
Right on, man.
There's another one. I was uninformed.
Oh, is there another one?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one. Okay. Well, you do trade shows, so I was like,
no, it's only the biggest trade show in the world.
This is the fisherman's trade show of all fisherman's trade shows. It's the largest in the world. We went last year, had an absolute blast. We talked about it last year, how flabbergasted we were by all the booths and everything that was just absolutely going on there. You get to see the who's who of fishing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to, make sure I'm going to check it out in the morning. You get to see the who's who's and the what's and of course,
now, is Vance from Line Cutters in town?
He is. He's here. You know what? I was going to invite him on the show, but I know this trade show stuff. He gets so swamped.
It's almost disrespectful to expect him to. We're 45 minutes to an hour away from where he's at. That's a lot to ask him. His brain is just spinning right.
Oh,
it's day one of the show.
So Vance, I apologize for not inviting you. You're always invited on this show.
But out of respect.
We'll let you do your thing. Yeah. So. The show's going to be awesome this year. It is absolutely packed. It was jam-packed when I was there. A lot of excited people. We're going to have some friends up in town. We're going to be seeing a lot of people, so it's going to be super exciting. Yeah. I certainly can't wait. So, so voila, there you go. Welcome, iCast people, vendors, fishermen, visitors, you name it. I know you're going to be here and you're going to be enjoying iCast.
Yeah, if you're tuning in, welcome to the hottest outdoor show in Orlando. And probably the Southeast.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only outdoor show.
So watch for us on the floor.
On the big, yes, definitely see
Rodney be around. You may not see him, but you'll hear the voice.
Yeah, he'd be like, hey, I recognize that voice somewhere.
Hey, I want to show you something.
I dare you show me something. Mike, you know what?
Look on the big screen.
Mike,
the big screen behind you, Rodney.
This is got to be my favorite picture that I've had in a long time. And there's an absolute reason for this. There's a couple reasons, and I'm going to tell you. For those of you who don't know, Mike and I went to the Swanee this weekend, and we were chasing Swanee bass. It was shoddy at best, but it was a beautiful ride, wasn't it? Uh-oh. Let's do it.
Brett, do you know what Brett?
I don't, but we're about to find out.
Oh, let me click on the right button there. We go.
Click on the right one. Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
How you doing, my man? Who am I speaking with?
This is Brett.
Brett, how are you, brother?
I'm all right.
hold him up. Well,
you wouldn't happen to know the best way to get into iCast as a attendee, would you?
I'll tell you this, man. I know they don't take like you can't just walk up and get into iCast. Unfortunately,
this is a tough one.
But it is because this is like a vendor's buyer. You know, you got to pre-register for this thing, and there's just no amount of money that you just walk up and pay to get in.
Well, yeah, it's tough.
Unless you know what, because they closed the last registration down on the 30th. The only way to get in is if you get in on someone's badge and they go, look, man, you know, go check the show out. Here's my badge. And I kind of get people in, you know, and say, hey, you know, come walk with me. Today you're going to be, you know, like, you know, Mike Coy ain't going to get to go every day. So,
if you don't mind being Mike Coy for a day.
If you don't mind being Mike Coy for a day, you get to walk with me.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, it ain't. But that's a tough one, Brett. If there is someone out there that knows, I will keep my ears out. I'll actually message everybody that I know going and find out if there's some secret way that we can get someone in, and I'll be happy to shoot it to you. Because man,
okay,
yeah, text Rodney offline.
Yeah. Shoot me a message offline to remind me. Because I think everyone should see this show. If nothing else, you know, if you don't mind, you might be Mike Coy one day. You can walk in with us for a couple hours. Yeah. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, text Rodney info offline because we get a lot of these questions.
Yeah.
And we just want to load up a bus and take everybody with you, but it's a difficult chore.
And it is absolutely a sight to see, Brett, man. So, thank you so much for the call. And definitely message me, man, so I can say, hey, meet me up here at this time and let's walk through together, and your jaw will drop, man. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome, Brett. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right.
Have a good one, my man.
Cut him off, didn't me too. Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is,
I've had several people ask me, and I was even texting you, going, Rodney, it's just tough because you just want to hand people pass. But this one is.
I tried to get Hector and Alan in, and when I signed them up under our pass, under our Rodney Rogers Outdoors, it kicked Alan back saying he was already registered, that he couldn't register twice under someone else.
Oh.
But in fact, he wasn't registered. You know, it was a last year thing, so they wouldn't let me register him.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
So it was very frustrating. And Hector just never got the confirmation, nor did I. And I sent him tons of emails saying, please, you know, let me know what's going on here. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, and Hector never got the confirmation.
I'm in the trade show business, and I can get a lot of people in a lot of things. This is one of the tougher ones.
Yeah,
this thing is huge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's big, and I understand why.
I'm going all 3 days so I can see it.
Yeah,
and because there's no way to catch this all in one day.
No,
this is impossible.
Especially if you want to slow down and breathe it in, and talk to people and interact with people.
Absolutely,
it's going to take the full week.
Which you know me. That's just
that is the story of your life.
Right.
Yeah, today was day one. It's through Friday. Closes on Friday.
Today was actually just. Everybody thinks today's just registration day.
So the show floor wasn't open?
It was not open. Yeah, the show floor was not open. It was only open to certain people.
Okay.
And it wasn't open to buyers or wholesalers. It was basically so the show actually starts 12, 13, and 14. Because I was going to walk in today, and I said, I keep hearing the show's open today. She goes, no, sir, it is not. It's just registration.
A little misleading.
And and it's open to media.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
They have a media day where the media goes through and goes to each booth and does their thing and says, hey, I'm at iCast. Yeah. You know, blah, blah, blah. We guess. And that way they're uninterrupted by guests walking around, which there's going to be a lot of that anyway.
Sure.
You know, there's still a ton of that. So, because you got to have a special media pass.
Well, this is definitely one of the. Can I show you something?
Absolutely.
Check this photo out on the big screen.
So Mike and I go to Swanee, and we didn't catch nothing, but it was a beautiful ride. We got to see some cool stuff, and then we go to Ozello. It starts raining the next morning, and then we go to Ozello, and Mike catches his first snook, and I don't know. I think I was. Probably, you really didn't know what you had, did you?
I'll be honest with you. No.
Okay. So I could tell by you were like, hey, Rodney, it's a fish. And it's no poke at you.
I mean, it wasn't that, but he bit like 3 feet from the boat.
Oh, literally, he almost jumped in the boat for your lure.
You know, literally. This was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
And usually I have a camera, and Sunday we didn't. I
just
fished with you.
Yes.
So I had personally casted 100+ times.
Right.
And I'm pulling my
lure out of the water.
Out of the water, and then so it's like, really? Couldn't you have like gone over there and grabbed
right.
it? So it literally caught me off guard, and all of a sudden you're like, bring it in. And you
I was like, oh man, Mike, it's a snook, bring it over.
So it just happened really quick.
Yeah, it did.
For 2 days of fishing, we brought one into the boat.
It was actually kind of exciting.
It was very exciting.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a couple reasons I love this picture. One is,
wait, let me bring it big so everybody can see it.
Yeah, put the big one up there.
Because people want to see that fish.
And one is that I didn't know snook were that far north. So I know there's a point where snook just don't live anymore, and I don't know what that point is, but I know it's somewhere around that area. So I've never caught a snook there. So to see a snook there, I was pretty impressed. We were in Ozello, Crystal River area. I know we're right on that border where they just don't tread because water gets too cold.
Interesting.
And to see you with your first snook, which is kind of a hard fish to catch anyway, it was just extra special for me, man. I'm so glad I was there for that.
I don't know that I would have pulled that out of water, and I'm starting to recognize fish.
Right.
I wouldn't have recognized that one.
Really?
Yeah, but now that I saw that and going through your photos on your website today, I saw Hector with a nice snook, and I'm like, so it makes sense now. I'll recognize it next time.
Yeah, you won't forget this one. Yeah,
very cool.
You know right away.
That iPhone 6. This is taken on Rodney's iPhone 7 Plus.
Oh, 7 Plus, yeah.
And phenomenal. Look at that thing.
I think that's where you said, all right.
And that's the worst of photographic conditions too, because the sun is straight up. This is like 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the afternoon.
And I couldn't even see the screen, literally, to see if I was focused. That's why I took so many pictures.
Yeah, but it looks...
just trying to see if I couldn't even see it. So, man, it absolutely was a great fish. It was about just a little over 24 inches long. They need to be 28 inches to keep. Yeah. So, but
let me tell you, everybody I work with saw that photo today.
Nice.
So thank you, Rodney.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you for catching it.
But let's rewind a little bit because we got a lot to do tonight.
Yes.
We have a lot to do tonight. Did I say that?
We got a lot to do.
And last week we talked about we would rewind and share some of the photos of your last couple offshore.
3 trips. Last 3.
Yeah, I think the third one, we showed those photos.
Okay, did we? Okay.
Yeah, so it's the last 2 that we've got here tonight.
Okay.
Which is the ones you pulled in a bunch of sailfish. You went on Sailfish Island or something.
Yes, I did. I got invited on a trip, and we literally caught mahi and sailfish. We caught a ton. And I was just trying to, as these fish were jumping, as you can see, I was just trying to snap pictures as fast as I could. And you can see we got a cool shot here of this mahi just laying right on top of the water. And what was funny, he skipped across the top of that water just like you can't even imagine. It was absolutely awesome. That we caught 5 mahi that day and 5 sailfish that day. We went 5 for 5 for sailfish.
Crazy.
Just crazy. It was crazy. Now, this is the time of the year when sailfish are breeding. This is their breeding season, spawning season. So they're in the summertime, they're off the shore, and if you're patient, you work your baits right, you do everything just right. And sometimes you can do it wrong and still catch a sailfish.
Who's that?
This is a guy
with a sailfish.
This is a guy with a sailfish. I apologize. I do not remember this guy's name.
My bad for putting
you
on the spot.
This is Jeff. I got it now. It's all clear. Sorry about that, Jeff.
Well, this is going on a month ago now.
Yes.
So, you're forgiven.
And this is one of the guys that invited me on the boat. And this was a private charter.
Okay.
A friend of theirs that said, just hop on the boat and let's go. And that's what we did. This is Jeff's wife right here with that beautiful gold sailfish. Man, that is a nice sailfish. That was the nicest sailfish of the day. Like you said, this fish is just absolutely stunning. Now, we'll get a lot of hate mail about pulling these things out of water. Look at this handsome fella right here. That guy on the right there is just something else. That dude on the left is something. I think
he just pulled a groin on there.
Dude, that was a great-looking guy there. Look at that guy. So so something else. Fish ain't bad, but the guy is something else. Now, this was the trip after. This is Tracy, my cousin Tracy, with her first Almaco. We drug her out on a boat and said, "Hey, we're going fishing." So we had her reel in the Almaco.
Almaco, is that a tuna?
It's a jack.
It's a jack.
It's like the reef donkeys. It's like the other jack, amberjacks, ambrosias.
Okay.
So this is just a smaller cousin of that guy.
Okay.
So and this is Will. Will went with us, and he caught an amberjack. He caught a couple nice amberjack.
That's an amberjack.
That's an amberjack. That's the bigger cousin of that Almaco jack that you see.
Okay.
He pulled in a couple of those, and look at that guy on the left right there, bro. That guy on the left is,
He
man.
keeps photobombing these photos.
He does. He's a handsome guy. He's just trying to get his face out there. He's going to get picked up by somebody. I'm not sure who. He's wearing all kind of lion cutters gear, so maybe. And this is Lisa. Look now. This is her. Oh, this is a snapper. The elusive endangered snapper.
The
red snapper that no one ever catches or sees out there in the ocean. And I will tell you this: we caught 3. Out of the 3, only 1 released safely. We bled them, we aired them, and it's just, man, we just can't keep them down.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The one thing nobody knows about Lisa is she only catches fish that matches her clothing.
Yes. Her shoes match, the shirt matched, and the fish match.
I have no idea how she does it.
As soon as she pulled that fish up, she goes, I need to get a picture of this. It matches. So she was in full gear from fish to fins. See what I did there? And no, this is the best. This picture, let me tell you why this picture is so awesome. Now, Heather last week, if you remember on our show week before last, not last week, week before last, Heather.
Listen up, folks.
Heather, I had a spot open on the boat. And I said, I'm tell you what, tell me that you want to fish this spot.
True story.
And I'm gonna put you in this spot. I'm gonna pick someone in this spot. Well, Heather was like immediately. She was on it. She started watching the show. She's, hey, I'm in. I'd love to go.
This was an unadvertised
prize
patrol.
Oh, total prize patrol. And I said in. So I message her the details. Let me know if you can go for a fact. She had to get a couple days off, or she had to get a day off. She had to find someone to take her position. Man, she works 2 jobs. She busts her butt. And, so she got the time off. And I sent her the details. You know what? We're out there. Well, this is we get to our fishing spot by 9:30. We put the rods out, and I see the sailfish come in. Now, I just caught a glimpse of the fin right before it went down. And I thought we had I thought, oh, man, a shark. I yelled out, oh, man, there's a shark in there, in our spread. And a lot of times you catch shark when you're fishing for mackerel. Then the rod goes off. So I grab the rod, and I'm getting the hook set, and, I'm like, Amber, come on. You've never caught a fish. Your first trip. I hand her the rod, and this thing goes sailing in the air, brother. And, man, what a fight. She fought this thing for 20-some-odd minutes on light tackle, semi-light tackle and a light line.
I'm uber jealous.
And
so cool.
It was just absolutely awesome. So that's her first fish ever, bro.
That's
ever
disgusting
in her life. I don't even have to, Mike.
That's still on my bucket list, even to see one. I have not even been in the boat.
You haven't even seen one?
Not in the wild.
I'd like to say that this is like the first sailfish after her years of fishing. This is her first fish, water-breathing fishilopolis.
Heather,
don't
go fishing again.
Oh, no, here's the best part.
You've peaked.
Mike, here's the best part. We're out there catching bait, and I look over at Heather, and she's peeling a banana, bro.
Oh.
She's eating the damn banana. She gobbled, and I'm like, what? Oh, my God. Captain Tyler was throwing the net, and I'm like, please finish this banana. In my head, I'm going, please finish.
Don't let Tyler see
so
you.
she nails the banana. I reached over and snatched the peel out of her hand and flipped it on the other side of the boat. Tyler looked at me and goes, what was that? I said, what?
Chicken.
I didn't even admit I even touched the banana peel.
Oh, my God.
And I said, what was what? He just looked at me with that I know. Make sure there's no other bananas on this boat.
My goodness.
And then, So if you ever thought bananas on the boat were bad luck, you tell me. She's the only one that had the banana and the only one that caught a sailfish.
You know how you can tell that's a good fish?
How's that?
Look at the eyes of the captain.
You know what? Lisa says, Tyler, I know when we got something good because you start giggling.
Look at the face on the captain.
Yeah, he was tickled. And let me tell you how awesome he was. Well, first of all, this fish swallowed these double hooks.
Oh, my
Getting them out was not an
goodness.
option. I mean, it just absolutely wasn't an option. And trying to fish those hooks out, we would have killed that fish 100%. Now, you got to have an HMS tag, and they had their tag. They had, which is a billfish tag.
Okay.
And it has to be registered to the boat. So I looked at Captain Tyler and said, hey, man, are you opposed to keeping this fish? He goes, dude, I could fillet anything. He goes, I got no problem with it. A lot of people have a hard time keeping billfish. This is the first, 14 years of offshore fishing. This is the first billfish I kept. And I will keep one every year.
So you did keep it.
We kept this guy. We filleted it, and we all took a bunch of sailfish home.
So is there different levels of this offense?
Well,
Number one is keeping it.
I call them, you know what? No offense to the guys. I mean, you got tree huggers.
Yeah, I mean,
And you got fish huggers, what I call fish huggers. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term. Please don't take offense to it. But you got guys who, the most prestigious thing is, you have to release this fish and you have to. No, we have more sailfish now than in recorded history, not in history.
If there was a serious problem with it, the FWC wouldn't allow you to do it.
You wouldn't be allowed to keep it. So you're allowed one per person, and we've kept one in 17 years. Now, recommendations.
Pretty good ratio.
Yeah. Our buddy Zach, he's got a buddy. Zach even said, I'm learning myself, man. Pulling them out of the water, they have a better survival rate if you leave them in the water. So I made sure when we pulled these guys out of the water, we had all the support on them. They're so long, their belly hangs, organs move around. There's just things that happen.
Trust me, I know that feeling.
When your belly's hanging, trust me. So we did everything we could. We were very gentle with these fish, and we took a quick picture, and we got them in the water as fast as we could on the previous sailfish, So, it was quick. We got them in. We revived them and made sure they swam off. I have never seen a dead sailfish swimming. As all the years fishing, we've never seen a dead sailfish.
Yeah, how many red snapper you seen?
Hundreds. I mean, honestly, we've seen them. We've seen trails of dead red snapper. I mean, so we harvested it, and let me tell you what, sailfish is delicioso. Woo! Lay it on us, Mike.
All right, Rodney, here's some top stories. Not a lot of top stories, but what we do have is Southwest Blue Florida crap trozers. We got some crap trozers going on, and you don't want to take those crap trozers lightly.
No, sir. And you don't want to get caught with a full crap trozer. Woo! You don't even want to get caught with one of those.
No, you don't. You want to read these highlights of the crap trozers?
So if you have a blue crab trap, we have Florida blue crab, dadgummit, crab trap closer.
I'm very contagious.
And you got to say that real slow. Starts July 10th, and let me tell you what that means. And this is kind of like the offshore.
Yeah.
There's parts that open, there's parts that close. They're closed here, they're open there. So basically what they're saying is Palm Beach, Broward County line to the Pasco, Hernando County line. So we're talking South Florida up past Tampa.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
That orange part on the map.
Yep. Oh, there you go.
Orange
yeah,
part
the orange part in the map there. Traps must be removed by July 10th. So as of yesterday, your blue crab traps in that area have to be out of the water.
See ya.
Got to get them out. They may be placed back in the water by July 10th.
Just a 10-day closure.
And there's a couple reasons for this.
Why?
And one is so once all the traps are out, they can look at dead traps. They can find traps that are just abandoned, people forgot about, that have drifted away. And they'll pull those up.
It's a way to clean house.
It's a way to clean house. And and they get all this out. It's honestly to help the environment. And then I'll drop them again.
And derelict traps are dangerous for boaters. I mean, it's just debris now at that point.
And it's dangerous for the crabs. If the bait's gone and another crab gets in, then they'll go in and eat that crab, and it's just an endless cycle.
Well, not to mention that sometimes in these traps get trapped more than just crabs. What? Did I say it right?
Stop it. Stop it. No more. You're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to say traps anymore.
We were sitting at the restaurant the other night in Swanee.
Yes.
And that gentleman to our left was talking about all the other things besides crabs.
Oh yeah.
That get caught in these traps.
He was talking redfish.
Yeah.
He talked about all the crazy stuff that got caught in his traps.
So again, they go through and because all these fish and other things give it.
So you said there's more than crabs that get caught in these in these traps. I'm like, and it just
crabs in the crabs.
I cannot wait to replay this and listen and laugh at that little statement again. But yes, you're right. I mean, there was redfish in there. Mangrove snapper go in there and eat those baits, and none of those know how to get out.
Yeah, this is just about getting the traps out of the water. You can still harvest your blue crabs.
Once you got them out.
With other gear.
Yes.
Dip nets.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Traps.
Good call, man.
Yeah.
Yes. So blue crabs may still be harvested. You're ahead of me. Right on with your dip nets and fold-up traps. So you can still harvest them. The key is to get the traps, to get the abandoned traps out and all that good stuff. So, and harvesters may also use standard blue crab traps during the closure if the traps are attached to a dock and or private property.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
I hope so.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. So basically what they're saying is tie your trap up to your dock. That way they can identify it. They know whose it is. They know not to yank it out and trash. You and I found a blue crab trap up there in Ozello, just sitting on, just in the water. And I went, look at there, Mike. There's one right there.
The more you hear these regulations and how they're doing it, the more it starts to make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It starts to click.
That's exactly right.
Really the only top news I pulled out, but I wanted to share some fun facts.
Okay.
If you have noticed, the FWC on their website puts fun facts.
Yes.
Along the bottom of almost every web page.
Right at the very bottom. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's actually some pretty awesome facts at the bottom of that thing. And I know you think I don't read at the very bottom.
I know. You read things, Rodney. Here's one for you. Adult Florida bass usually eat crayfish and other fish, but on rare occasions, they eat snakes and birds.
Yes. Yes. Mike, I was trying to get a picture of some baby ducks one time, and these little baby wood ducks was swimming through the lily pads, and I was trying to zoom in, and I had a bass come up and eat one of the babies.
Really?
I felt so bad because they were swimming away from me, and I wasn't moving closer to them. I was just... they were scared of me, afraid of me, not scared, but they were afraid of me. And then as they were swimming, a bass hit the wood duck.
It's crazy to think they're eating snakes.
It freaked me out. So
look at that crazy guy with the bass. There's Mr. Todd with the bass.
There's Mr. Todd. Todd, that's in Miami. I remember where that was.
Here's another interesting FWC fact for you. You can fit nearly 100 Carenia brevis cells on the head of a pin.
What is a Carenia brevis cell?
Would you care to guess, Rodney?
I'm gonna say plankton, ocean plankton. Would I be kind of right, or red tide?
Ding, ding.
Okay.
Ding.
Okay.
Rodney.
Give me some of that, brother.
You got the answer right.
Brother.
Red tide.
Red tide. Okay.
Bunch of little.
It dawned on me because back in my
size cells.
Yeah.
100 of them on the edge of a pin.
Wow, that's amazing.
But all formed to fill. I mean, look at that.
It is deadly to fish. Absolutely deadly.
Makes you sneeze and cough and.
You don't want to be part of that operation.
It is explore. It is a phenomenon. Is it worldwide? I know.
It's all over Florida.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
Florida.
during the summer, and it's if you sign up for the FWC website, they'll give you the red tide updates and they'll tell you where it's at. And trust me, I've used it a couple times because I was going to go fishing in Sarasota and the red tide was there, and I bailed out because obviously, fish die
on the West Coast. Okay.
Oh, West Coast. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. I mean, you've had it on the West Coast. I remember I've been on the East Coast, Jacksonville, had been really bad in Jacksonville. Yeah.
So you don't want to be part of that, man. So
So if you're by the coast and you're coughing or something weird going on with your respiratory system, ask them if there's red tide. Yeah. You're looking at the clock. Are you nervous?
I know. We were going to talk about buffs.
Do you want to?
I left my buff right in the...
Well, here's the deal.
Okay.
It's quarter till.
I've
got some really good questions.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
And we'll do buffs next week. Because the buffs are very important. When we used it this weekend, they were very needed. So...
Well, this weekend was what are you looking for that sound?
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm excited. I'm just looking to see who it is. What up, Todd?
That sound, folks, means somebody new has just joined.
us.
Viewership. So let's all just kind of feel warm and fuzzy within our hearts.
Let's all bring it in for a hug. Let's all bring it in. Bring it in.
That sound means group hug.
Group hug
sound. Beep, beep.
And Nick's watching now. I got Nick's badge too. Nick, we got your badge for the thing today. So.
Yeah, so we were fishing this weekend. Again, folks, for all of you, and I do it really for the viewers.
Right.
I ask the elementary questions.
Which is beautiful.
Not that I don't
said this
know,
in the beginning. Yeah.
Or that my experience hasn't taught me this in the past.
Right.
But I'm not afraid
to
ask those.
For the people.
Of course, for the people. I'm not afraid to ask the elementary questions.
It's only for the people. It's for you guys. You should thank Mike.
And when I have my buff tied around my neck in a nice little bow,
and
like Rodney's like,
yeah, about that.
Before you get out of the truck, would you mind?
Untie your buff there. Just get a little tug right here.
So we had intensive conversations about buffs this weekend, and I thought, what a great conversation to
have on the show.
Yeah. I would like to explore that more for the sake of other people.
Yes.
Knowing how different ways to work the buff, because you get this thing that looks like a long.
So if you're going to be in the buff
thing, like what do you do with this? So next week
we'll buff it. We'll be in the buff.
We're going to buff it.
We'll be in the buff.
Do any of you guys wear buffs?
Ooh. You know what? Throw it out there, Mike.
Throw it out there.
Send us a picture.
This week.
This week only.
Till
next Tuesday.
Yes, till next Tuesday. Because next Tuesday, a week from tonight, our episode, mark my words, unless some celebrity and MC Hammer comes on the show again like he did 3 years ago, we're going to have an episode on different ways to utilize the buff.
For women and men.
Men, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because this is actually a very interesting topic. That
it really is.
And I came home this weekend. I'm you can't tell now, but I'm a redhead.
And I'm fried. I'm kind of a redhead.
And I did have a little sun on my face because I went zero sunscreen this weekend, but because I tried to cover it with clothes. On the top of my hands where I was holding my rod because I did a lot of fishing this time.
Right.
I was burned right here. Not painfully, but that's really where it boiled down to.
My legs got it good.
But I hate putting sunscreen on.
Yeah, me too.
And that's where these buffs come in handy. I didn't even realize until this weekend you said they're like something like 50 SPF.
Yes.
So I'm rambling on way too long. Next week's episode, in the buff. Send your pictures of you in the buff.
Hold on. Back up. With a buff.
Not
in the buff.
Thank you.
Let me clarify that.
Separate competition.
Because I know
save
Nick.
That for later.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, that's our Christmas special.
And we will draw. We will have a drawing next week live on the air.
Yes.
And we'll give away some prizes.
And we'll have some swag for you.
How about 3 prizes?
Okay.
You're gonna love it. Don't worry about
like
what it is.
Like first, second, third, or to all one person.
No. 3 prizes
to one person. Or just for 3 people.
I don't know.
We'll have 3 prizes.
I don't know the answer to this question.
So send us your picture with a buff.
Maybe everybody who puts their submits goes into a drawing. We spin the wheel and we pick 3 to win prizes.
Go. Perfect.
Okay.
I like it. Yes.
So it doesn't have to be. Don't just send it in.
Yeah. Perfect. So hit us with the questions.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah.
I think we got questions somewhere.
We got questions.
Lay it on us.
Mail. Letters. We get letters. We get stuff.
Whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time.
Mail time.
Mail's here.
Yeah, I'm a top flight, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, do you right overnight mail.
There it is.
There it is. Rough Cut.
What do we got?
Rough Cut 21. Rodney says, any tips / words of wisdom for fishing in / near residential areas?
There's a lot of innuendos there. So basically what he's saying, can I trespass?
If I want to fish in a subdivision.
You know what's funny is I got another question like that. And it said, can I fish the highways, 417, 429s, and those ponds? And here's how I address that, because I fish that stuff.
Well, there's fish out there.
Yeah, there's fish out there, and that's usually where most of the fish are. And here's what I tell you. In most cases, like, say, on the public roads, the pseudo-public roads, and remember, these are toll roads, so they're still owned by an entity.
Okay, yeah.
So
good point.
You're allowed to fish, but you're not allowed to park on the right-of-way. Does that make sense? Yes. If someone drops you off, you can fish that pond all day long. So you can walk to the next pond.
So it's where your car is.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
I got a ticket for parking on the right-of-way, not for fishing.
Is the right-of-way considered the shoulder?
Anything off the shoulder.
Yeah,
Once you pass that emergency lane, that's the right-of-way. So you will get a ticket for parking on that right-of-way. They won't ticket you for fishing.
What if you pull all the way off on the grass?
That's where I was, way off the grass. I was so far off the grass, I don't even know how the guy saw me.
Still the right-of-way.
Yeah, it's still the right-of-way. So when you fish residential, if someone tells you to leave, just be very cordial and say, you know what, not mine, perfect, I will leave. It doesn't matter how many fish you're fishing. Because if they call the law, you don't want to run in with the law, period.
Yeah,
they're going to make you leave. They're going to trespass you.
It's not worth it.
It's just not. Just say, you know what, ma'am, or sir, or whatever, not a problem. But, a lot of those ponds you could fish. If you're quiet and you don't make a lot of noise, don't put a 5-gallon bucket out there and sit on your bucket and throw your cane pole out there. Just start yanking fish and throwing them in the bucket. They get offended by this. People will get offended.
Yeah.
So just make sure you catch and release. And make it quick, short and sweet. Plan on spending 10 or 15 minutes at each pond you go to. And that would be my recommendation. Honestly, it would. And you'll love it. And then you can fish those ponds. If you're there 15, 20 minutes, you're in and out of there, you catch fish and you go.
It just feels like a lot of pressure,
You get to come back.
I'd rather slow down to 70 miles an hour and not worry about the cops. So how do you deal with it?
Well, you fish your own residential neighborhoods. You fish places you're allowed to be. Now, if it doesn't have a trespass sign and someone's harassing you, just say, look, this is what I do when I know I'm in the right, but make sure you're in the right when you do it. I said, listen, I appreciate what you're doing, but if you could do me the biggest favor and call the police and not harass me, that would be awesome. You ask anybody that fishes with me, that's exactly how I handle it. And 99% of the time they won't call the police, and if they did, which they have, the police come out and go, hey, you catch anything? And, you live here? And you go, yeah, I'm supposed to be here because of this. And then they just leave.
Is it a matter of you being a resident of that neighborhood or not?
A lot of times just being a resident, if your parents live in that neighborhood or, if you got family in that neighborhood or you have a right to be there, then if someone harasses you, there is a charge for that.
Yeah.
So they can get in just as much trouble. They can actually be arrested for harassing you while you're fishing in a place you're supposed to be. So
that's too bad.
Just ask them to call the police and walk off. So that's the best way to handle that. Next question.
Or you could just offer them Bob's butt wipes.
Or you keep a box. That's a conversation breaker right there. You just say, listen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fish this pond.
Officer,
for your troubles. For officer, for your troubles.
You seem like you need some Bob's butt wipes.
Take some Bob's butt wipes. You never know. You're out there on the highway. You're patrolling. Hey.
Take this box. Partially used. I've only used 6 of them. Take this.
Wait a minute. That's the old box. That's the used box. Take the other box.
All right, Rodney. Davis W. from Olathe, Kansas says, can you please, Rodney, define brackish water and how it affects fishing strategies? Good question.
It is a good question. And it does affect fishing strategies. And this is probably one of the coolest questions we've had in a long time. You and I dealt with that this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
We dealt with that this weekend. Brackish water being any freshwater canal, tributary, river, stream, anything connected to a saltwater source, being the Gulf, being the Atlantic, being, well, for us, it'd be Gulf or Atlantic, period. There's no other, and it's where salt water has an effect with the freshwater. And 99% of the time, it's because it's a tidal influenced water stream, water source.
Yep.
So as the tide comes in comes the salt water, mixes with the fresh. Freshwater fish can live in brackish water, meaning it's partially salt and partially fresh. And it's usually around 33% salt. That determines what brackish water is. There's an exact figure. So if you're listening, you go, it's 35%, whatever it is.
Oh, I was going to ask that same question.
There's a figure.
Yeah.
I used to know that figure when I did demos at Bass Pro Shop because that was a question I got a lot of times. So, like the Swanee, it's affected by the tide. An outgoing tide is the best tide to fish.
Interesting, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
it
it's
really
got to
is.
change during the days.
That's
then.
exactly right. And you and I was fishing on a full incoming tide, so it's a little bit tougher fishing.
But even that percentage has to fluctuate, right?
And the percentage does fluctuate because as the Swanee flows, as the tide goes out, the fish don't come and go. The fish stay, but they can deal with a certain influx of salt and fresh water.
How far inland or upstream?
It can go several miles.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. It can push several miles. And the highest of salinity would be closer to the mouth of the source.
Okay.
So right where
of course. Right.
Swanee hit the Gulf, that'd be obviously your highest salinity. And then, of course, now some fish cannot live in the brackish and or, that kind of, the shoal bass is one of them that can't do it. Largemouth can, Swanee can, sturgeon can, sharks can. Some sharks can, the bull sharks.
Gators can.
Gators certainly can. There's a ton of fish. You'll see snook up the river. You'll see mullet. They can go 100% fresh once they've made that transition.
Mullets, there's another topic. They pissed me off this weekend. Flat out. I'm sorry I got aggressive with
you did get aggressive.
My terminology there.
You were what happened, Mike? What went down?
Yeah, because they're everywhere. There's a fish, he's jumping. I mean, how exciting is it when you see the fish jump?
Oh, yeah. You're in the right spot.
Cast there.
But
cast
you didn't
there.
see any excitement out of me.
Cast there. There he is, cast there. Blah, 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 blah. All this action casting. Rodney says they don't bite. They're not going to bite your lure.
Dude, you were like, wow, oh my God. You were like, dude, they're jumping
this
everywhere.
Is exciting.
We got this.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, we got this.
What do you call it? Breaching?
Breaching the water.
Breaching the water.
Flop, 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 flop. Splat. Big
I'm on it, Rodney.
Nothing.
They eat weeds.
Plankton and weeds.
Yeah, they eat weeds. They're not interested in what you're offering.
Not happening. Yeah.
They're everywhere. Yeah, it's a little
You
muffed.
were a little
I was
perturbed.
muffed at the mullet.
The mullet. It's called a mullet muffing. So, yeah. So Mike got his mullet experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, So there you have it. That's your best strategy is watch your tides and know what fish you're fishing for in that water.
Rodney, I got one more question for you here.
Let's do it.
This one actually came in today over Facebook.
Come on, Facebook.
Let me close that window, man. I'm a bummer. Basically,
what happened was
paraphrase this, Rodney.
Okay, paraphrase it.
Yeah, Courtney L from Facebook. I reserve the right to not give the last names.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You know why?
I seen the last name. You couldn't spell it. I saw it.
Thank you for saving me on that one, Rodney.
It was a big one.
Basically, Courtney had said, "Hey, my husband and I, we've been doing a lot of falling head over heels with target practicing, and now we want to start hunting."
Right.
And basically, we don't know. Oh, I'm paraphrasing. It's right on the screen.
Yes. Yeah, you don't have
We'd like to do some hunting, but we don't have the slightest idea of where to begin. Rodney, give us some direction.
Yes, I saw that as we were coming in.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, funny thing. You started in the right move. You started following Rodney Rogers Outdoors, the post. Here's where you're going to want to start. and I will tell this to anybody who wants to hunt. The first place to start is take your hunter's safety course first. That is the first place, because you can't do any hunting without it. You can hunt with someone that is a hunter. There's an exemption, like if you don't have your hunter safety course, which remember it's June 1st. If you were born before June 1st, on or before June 1st of 1975, you do not have to have your hunter safety. I'm sorry. If you're born on or after, if you were born before June 1st of 1975, you do not have to have your hunter safety course. Anytime after that, you do. You have to have your hunter safety course, and that was enacted in 1990. 90 or 91, I'm sorry. Don't
That's right. I'm going to give you a pass.
Yeah, it's one of those 2 years. So you have to have your hunter safety course. It's free. Take it. There are some people out there that will charge you for it, but the state gives it to you for free. You start it online. You take your first half online, and then you do an on-site target practice. You shoot a shotgun. You shoot a rifle. You shoot a high-powered rifle. You shoot archery. You go through the whole gamut. They want to make sure they put you through scenarios. They'll put a turkey in a tree with a house in the background, and you got to decide whether to shoot the turkey in the tree,
or shoot the house.
You're going through the scenarios, or shoot the house.
Yeah.
So if you shoot the turkey in the tree, your bullet comes in the house. They'll give you these scenarios.
Interesting.
Start with your hunter safety course, period. My gosh, I got the hiccups. So start there. And once you start there, then move on to hunting, deciding what hunting you're going to do.
Yep.
So you've got to start there, because you can't get your hunting license without that. Without it, you can't get it unless you have a mentor, unless you have someone that has a hunting license and you can hunt under them. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So that would be the first place to start, and then follow us. And
that's a really good place to start. Do that.
Yeah.
And then
well, that's going to do a couple things. And here's the benefits of that. One is that course also is a course for your concealed weapons license. You do not have to take a hunter's or a concealed weapons class. That will follow you forever.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I gave it to my kids when they were 8 years old.
Okay.
There's no age too young, as long as they could pass the test.
Sure.
My kids were 8. I put them through the hunter safety course at the same time I went through it. That was in like a year after they started it. I did not have to have it. I was born in 68. But I have to have it when I hunt in Colorado. I have to have it when I hunt in Wyoming. I have to have it. So I needed it for other states, not for the state of Florida. And at the time, I know we're kind of pushing it. And I got it because my kids were going, and I went with my kids, and I wanted everybody to have their hunter safety course. And you can look it up. My daughter and son lost their certificate years ago. Get on FWC, punch in your name, bow, print it out, go get your concealed weapons license.
Well, we'll put it in the queue for a hunting 101, starting from ground zero, maybe a couple weeks down the line.
Let's do it, because we got it coming. It's coming up.
But in the meantime, hunter safety's course
is
key. On the FWC. Start there. In a couple
there.
Weeks, we meet back up, and we'll maybe take it to the next level, give some options.
Absolutely.
See where we're at with hunting seasons and stuff.
And that's the way to do it. So there you have it. Great questions. My gosh, man.
Great answers, Rodney.
You got mail.
Letters, we get
Let's dance it.
We get stuff.
Whoa, yes, wait a minute.
It's all you.
It's all me.
Yeah. Rodney, as always, man.
Man,
it's
this 1 hour goes by too fast, Mike. We're gonna have to up our show to 4-hour shows.
Yeah, we say that.
I know. We've been at this for this is 167. Since 66.
166. Dude.
Dang, I was one show off. I was.
Yeah, well, that's because we missed last week. Otherwise,
you know what? We got so many people listening. Hold on.
Group hug.
How long is the course? The course is 2 weekends. So so you'll take the online course, which is a couple hours, read through, take the test, and then you'll take your a certificate of completion and go to the next phase, which is the I think it's 2 days of actual physical, hands-on classroom stuff. So and it's safety. The key is safety.
Yeah.
They'll teach you the 10 rules of safety. They'll teach you SAFE. there's gonna
slow down, Rodney.
sorry,
2 weeks
man.
away. We're 2 weeks away from a 101 course.
Yes, we are.
Hate to cut you off, but it's iCast, baby.
It's
It's
iCast.
iCast week.
So
We got to get out of here.
if you're going to iCast, hit us up, man. I'd love to meet you. I want to take a picture with you, say hi to you. Yes, we are doing a CWP class sooner or later. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for fishing with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love each and every single one of you. Maybe a couple of you we're not.
Still on the fence.
You like that crazy cousin. You know what I mean? We kind of like you. We love hanging out with you, but we don't want to see you a lot.
But stay tuned anyways.
And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray, Lord, I pray I get to say it half as much. And I love you, Mom, for saying it. You kids get outside and stay.